I'm live. I'm live. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's what I'm believing. That's my hair. Oh, yeah. Okay. That way. Right. Oh, hey, hey. Good evening. Good evening. I feel like a bit like Alfred Hitchcock at the moment. I don't know why. Just because I said good evening. Look at me. I'm putting on my favorite chapstick. There we go. If it would only not stick on everything else, but good evening. There we go. Let me do this so I can see the comments more. So, yay. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. Here we go. Wednesday night, late night. And I say late, or actually, no, I say late night because it's silly. Good morning, or excuse me, good morning, Freudian slip. Good evening, Becky. Nice to see you. Oh, man, we made it through today. Some of us were here. Penny Myers, hello, whoa, whoa, whoa to you too. Some of us were hanging out this morning on TikTok. I did an 8 a.m. TikTok, and now it's the 8 p.m. YouTube Live. I love it. Cheryl and Mary and Regina and Robin and McDugs. Hello from Tampa. Judy Dukes, good evening to you as well. So nice to see everybody. Let me check off a couple of things on my list here. YouTube Live, check. Pilates, yes. Walk and drop off bag of things, check. Email Carla, check. Nope, haven't done that yet. So yay. All right, Lori Hannah, you go. Let's do the mystery. So what kind of inspirational thing will we get for Lori Hannah today?
You are a badass.
Yes, Lori Hannah, you are a badass. So keep on going. Estate sale in less than 2 weeks. Rock on, my friend. You can do it. Very cool. Very cool. I am very proud of you for being tenacious, not giving up, and continuing to go through whatever you need to go through to get that estate sale going. So good on you. How's everybody's habit tracker for the day? I was just about to fill out mine. Maybe you want to fill out yours with me. Let's see what I did and let's see what I have yet to do. Did I take walk number 2? Yes, I did. And look, this was so fun. A client was suggesting doing this in I almost said robot colors. This is why I don't do late night stuff, because my voice, my vocab goes wacky. My vocabulary has already punched the clock. Rainbow colors. Roy G. Biv, and I'm down at the Biv. So I did take walk number 2. Did I increase my protein with every meal? I did. And can I just tell you, I was thinking about this today, just moments ago as I was eating. One of the best sandwiches in the world, bar none. Fight me on it. The BLT, a B, an L, and a T. It's such a wonderful combo. Carla, how are you doing? You doing okay? Feeling better in the head? Y'all, I got a headache today too, and I thought of you. Maybe it's just in the air. I hope you're feeling better, dearie. I hope you're feeling better. So yay, nice to see Carla. Yeah, and Mary Coker, bacon. Yes. All righty. I don't mean to be mean to my friend, but I'm here with these friends here, and so I will text her in about 50 some odd minutes. Yay. Head is a little bit better, and Alabama is yellow. I assume you mean with pollen. Yeah. 'Tis the season. Am I right? So, yay, I'm glad you're feeling better. I too am feeling better. This is what I say. Thank God for modern medicine. Yes, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Yes, McDugs. It's just such a combo. And here's the wonderful thing. You can say, "Oh, I'm eating vegetables," and you're not lying. Bacon is protein. I'm eating protein and vegetables. It just happens to be wrapped up in a lovely carbohydrate and mayonnaise hug, right? Oh, under the highest pollen alert possible. No fun. We are not there yet. But we could be. Water number 2. Who's hydrating with me? I know it's going to make you pee when you get up in the middle of the night. That's okay. Okay. You can still play catch up with your water intake. Okay. That's what I'm going to do for the next 55 minutes that we're together. I will be sipping my water. Every little bit helps. Every sip helps. So water number 2, yay. I actually took my evening medicines early. So all I have to do to get a complete thing right here is to brush my teeth and wipe off my face tonight. There we good. Yay, McDuck's is doing good with water today. Yay. Yeah, you guys, you still have time to do some stuff that's going to make you feel good about what you did today. Looking in the rearview mirror, writing down, maybe reflecting. I see this is what I love. You reflect in a mirror, right? So you're reflecting back. You're in the car. You're looking back on what you did today. I hope you did some good stuff. Okay, Shannon in retrograde, nice to see you. I did some good stuff today. And you know the two books I'm filling out right here? Right here. I've got what I was planning on doing today. Now, did some of my stuff that I planned on happening happen? No, it didn't. Some people weren't feeling good. That's okay. I made good use of that time. Some people got confused about their schedule. That's okay. I made good use of it. I had a schedule and I was flexible with it. I got some good stuff done. I also took care of myself, as I said, because I got a headache today too. Yay, Becky Ridgway had a great day. Good, good. No, no, no. You know what, Carla? I am always with you in your heart. You're in my heart. You're in my soul. I'm there with you all the time, my dear. You know? Okay. Penny Myers. Yeah, that is no fun. Wrote checks for completely unexpected big federal tax owed because of an ACA glitch. That sucks. Not going to lie. Unexpectedly having to write checks to money that you don't want. But hey, not that I'm trying to make good out of bad, but this is kind of what I do because this is what I do. Aren't you glad you have the money to pay it? I don't know. So it doesn't get worse. So you avoid it and then they come after you and all that. Uh, Stuff like that's going to happen. But you did it. Yay. Let's minimize it. Put it in the back seat. It's in the rear view mirror. You got that out of the way. Minimize it. But yeah, those things can be painful. All right. Judy Dukes didn't get much done on your habit tracker. Tomorrow will be better. Okay. What I would do with Judy Dukes, if I were you, um, oh, don't have it need to do payments. Okay, that's okay. Penny Myers, I love that you're making stuff happen. I am. And you know what? We always talk about chunking stuff down. You're chunking it down with the IRS. Yeah, doing payment plans. A little bit at a time is better than one fell swoop, right? Now, Judy and your habit tracker. Now, I would just right now, and you may need to turn down the volume on me because I may be too chitty chatty. Um, just reflect and say, okay, these are the things that part of me thought I could somewhat easily get done on a daily basis. These are the things that I wrote down. I got some of them done today. Maybe you got some of them, Judy, right? If you did, so yay for what you did get done. And instead of judging yourself, now I don't know if you're judging yourself, but on the off chance you are judging yourself about what you didn't do on the habit tracker, get into curiosity mode. Get into curiosity mode. Get into Nancy Drew mode. The mystery of why I didn't get more done on my habit tracker, or not even more, but what are the few things that I didn't do? Maybe I overestimated what I could get done in a day. That could be a thing. Maybe some time got taken up by things that were unexpected, But what I offer to everybody, to all of you, and Judy's just kind of the conduit for this, judgment keeps you stuck, curiosity gets you going. Judgment makes you feel bad, kind of heavy, kind of stuck there. Wah, wah. I didn't get good stuff done today. All right, but don't judge yourself about it. Get curious why it happened. And then what could you do tomorrow differently? Now I will share with you. Yesterday, I was wicked tired. I was cold and tired. And so I'm gonna share with you my tracking of my steps. It was as if I was almost dead practically. So today I got over 10,000 steps. Yay. One of the reasons I did that was because yesterday I got 2,000 steps. 2,000. You know why? Because I was tired, I was cold, and it was freezing out. And there was no way I was going to go outside and do that. And I noticed that and I said, okay, today I'm going to do better. And I did, you know? So, um, just get curious, okay? Yay. Yay, Penny Myers, for looking at the good side of what you did do. Good news is I totally helped a friend declutter on Monday. Rock on. Rock on for helping her. And maybe you use some of the tools you're learning here. Yay. I love that you're using what you're learning and you're sharing it with the world. Please, everybody, do not gatekeep. Anything that you learn here is free game. Just don't, like make a wicked lot of money off of it. I'd be pissed. But offer it much like I do for you. Offer it freely and with encouragement and love and possibility to your friends who are struggling with clutter. Okay? You're learning stuff. You don't even realize it. Okay? Rena's having a rough week. Oh, hon. All righty. Here, as you said, nice to come here and bask in your positivity. Look, I'm glowing. You're going to bask. Look at me, I'm basking. Look, she's basking, right? Thanks for what you do. Notice how it can feel good to bask in positivity, in encouragement, you know, in helpfulness as opposed to judgment and shame and fear and all that kind of bullshit that makes you feel crappy, especially if you're having a rough week. What fun stuff can I share with you today? Um, I helped my mother with some stuff long distance. Talk about somebody. Have you ever heard the phrase flying off the handle? I don't know where that came from. I don't know what handle you fly off of, but boy, did she fly off the handle for no particular good reason about something that she just didn't look at. So I calmed her down. I slowed down. I looked down. I read down. I calmed down. And I told her everything was okay because I was making it okay for her. So that felt good to me. Here's a fun thing, too, you guys. Please learn this from me sooner rather than later. I think early on in my life as a kid, I would ask for things and I often heard no. I often heard no so many times that I started telling myself no because why bother asking if the answer is always going to be no? Why bother even trying? Man, oh Manischewitz, am I so glad I stopped that and I started asking for what I wanted because here's a really fun thing. So in about a month, my husband and I are going on a trip for our wedding anniversary. And we are staying at a place that I wanted to book like a nice room for. And nice basically means that instead of a queen size bed, it's got a king size bed because we don't have a king size bed at home. And ironically, it's fun to be able to spread out and not always flop it, hitting each other with an elbow, right? When I went to go book that hotel, they didn't have the room with the king size bed available. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get the one with two queen size beds, no big deal. But I did get in touch with them and I said, hey, I know you don't have that room, or I'm sure they have more than one of them. I reached out to them to say what I wanted. I wanted, I was going to be okay. I will make the best out of whatever I have. But if you ask me for what I want, I will be able to tell you what I want. I would prefer a king size bed than two queens. So I booked the two queens, but then I reached out and I said, and this was back in February. I said, "Hey, I really would like the king size bed room. If it becomes available, is there any way you can get in touch with me about that?" And they were wicked nice, but they're pretty much like, "Yeah, no. Like it may become available, but you have to kind of monitor it yourself." So I said, "Okay, no big deal." And so maybe once or twice since February when I booked that hotel room, I looked on their website and there was nothing available, so no big deal. Well, today I got a marketing email. Like I got on the mailing list for this hotel, which kind of reminded me. It was a visual reminder. Oh, you know what? Let me just see if a room with a king size bed is available. Lo and behold, there was one available for the rooms for the 2 days that we're going to be there. You know what I did? Like Mary Bakeretti, I got on the horn. All right. I got on the phone, and you can tell I'm old because my hand phone is shaped like this and not like a cell phone or something. Right. I got on the phone and I called them and I just said, hey, I'm booked for this room, but I see this one's available. Any chance we can switch it? Boom, boom, made it happen. So now when we go away in about a month, we get the room with the king size bed. And you know why? Because I decided what do I want? Says my little note up there, I want the room with the king size bed. Did I get it at first? Okay, no big deal. You don't always get what you want. But is there a way that I can increase the likelihood that I can make what I want happen? Yes, by checking to see if it becomes available. And then when it does become available, getting on the horn before somebody else books it, you know? Um, when you get clear on what you want, you can more accurately articulate to the universe and to the people on the phone at the hotel what you would like. That's exactly what I did. I called up and I said, "So I have this room, but I want that room. Can you help me? Can you be my fairy godmother and just make the switch?" I mean, I didn't say that to her, but it's kind of the inference, right? So that was a really cool thing that I made happen today. I don't say that to show off. I say that to you to encourage you. What is a tiny little step you could take to get what you want? My tiny little step literally was looking up something on the internet to see if it was available. When it was available, I did another tiny step, which was getting on the phone, you know? So, and what I did too was that was not on my plan for the day. That was not on my plan. But you know what I did? I wrote it down in my good book and I put a little asterisk because that's when the really fun, good stuff happens. So, yeah, to, from, I'm just writing down more thing. And I'm probably, honestly, no lie. You know how a lot of times people that I coach and I encourage them to write down the good stuff, and I encourage you to do that right now. Where's your good book? Picture pages, time to get your picture pages, get your picture pages, get your good book. Open it up. Even if you haven't done it in weeks, put today's date on it. Today's date is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Think about some good things that happened to you today. One of the things that I did, and I will about to write down, is ate a delicious BLT sandwich. One of them was I went on a morning walk and I saw and chatted with a woman who runs the little Facebook page in our little town. She's 88 years old, and I saw her out walking her dog, so we stopped and chatted. Nothing, nothing is too small to put in the book. If it's cool, and I don't care if it's a penny, write it down. And I don't mean our Penny Myers. What I mean is, it's not like, oh, that doesn't count. It's not important enough. Life is made up of little moments. Collect the little moments like pennies, and you end up having a lot of nice little moments, right? There we go. Carla got an appointment for the carotid ultrasound and echocardiogram. And I showed off to myself that I was able to say those words out loud without stumbling and bumbling. So, yay, yes, getting an appointment for the doctors. Is everybody here taking care of their health? Everybody? No? What could you do tomorrow to help take care of your health? Carla's taking care of hers. Um, As some of you know, again, asking for what you want, planting a seed. Next week at this time, is today Wednesday? Yeah. Next week, tomorrow, I will be traveling out to California. I will be house sitting out there for about 12 days. So I will be doing TikTok lives and YouTube lives there. But the schedule is going to change because it's a 3 hour difference from the East Coast. I haven't scheduled them yet because I just want to get a feel for it, but I will do those. I only bring this up because one of the things that I needed to do in order to say yes to that opportunity was I needed to actually reschedule a doctor's appointment. A doctor's appointment that, I'm not kidding you, I had to make back in October because my dermatologist is like in such high demand. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. Here's the thing that happened. Again, what am I going to need to do in order to make it easy for me to go to Palm Springs? Redo this thing. I got on the horn like Mary Baker Eddy. If you don't know it, Google it. And I just asked, hey, I need to reschedule that appointment. I was wondering if you had any cancellations. Boom. Yes, we do. We actually have a cancellation a week earlier. So next week, Tuesday sometime, I'm going to take care of my skin health because look at me, I get this Irish skin. It doesn't do well in the sun. Can you tomorrow do some one thing to take care of your health? Do you have a support team? Do you have a team of doctors that's going to support you as you get older? Find a doctor. Maybe ask your friends, what dentist do you go to? You know, what it'll be OBGYN, whatever. Um, where do you get your where do you get your colonoscopy done? You know, here's the deal with us at a certain age, everybody. We can no longer coast by on the energy and youth that we had. I truly believe our spirit is ageless, but our body is not. So at this stage of the game, it's going to be a lot more. You're going to have to spend a lot more time and a lot more money and a lot more energy just maintaining your body. Never mind making it better, just making it so you're not losing bone density, getting cancer, that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. Now, McDougs, this is wicked funny. So ask yourself what's the worst that can happen. Here's a funny thing. This is a one word difference. Yeah. Declutter now while you're able bodied. Yes. Can you imagine? You know, um, there's a client of mine, Christine. She shows up sometimes. She's got like the heart and the little umbrella on her Christine. So you know it's her. And this subtle change of phrase really helped her because it was kind of overly dramatizing for effect the fear. So what she would say to herself is, what's the absolute worst thing that could happen if I, you know, declutter, donate some of this stuff? What's the absolute worst thing? What's the most awful thing that could happen? And she realized what she was afraid of was not something big and scary, but it was pretty minor compared to that. So yeah, what's the absolute worst thing that could happen? You know? Okay, so Judy Dukes. Judy Dukes has been putting off making 2 appointments. Thanks for the encouragement to do that. Do this so you don't forget. Get your other book. Get your workbook, your calendar book, your road trip book. Turn to Thursday, April 10th and write down, make appointment number 1, make appointment number 2. Okay? Yeah, if we don't have our health, we cannot function. And I'm just taking a quick look at the calendar because I know I have TikTok lives, YouTube lives, and TikTok lives tomorrow. Now they're going to be at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So, and then I have a phone call with our financial guy tomorrow. Whew, I can't even imagine. But Judy Dukes, do not hesitate to get in touch with me so I can give you a virtual high five when you make those appointments. Okay. And here's the thing I look at, and I'm going to get really kind of serious for a moment because I am, they was it on the edge of 17. Oh my God, no. Sorry, Stevie Nicks. I'm on the edge of 60. I'm going to be 59 this summer. And so I can look not too far ahead and see my 60s, right? My 60s. That's when people I know have started to get real health issues, have gotten really sick, have died. That's the decade that stuff happens. So what can you do to decrease the likelihood of the bad stuff happening and increase the likelihood that the good stuff's going to happen? Okay? All right, so Judy Dukes, you may not be able to make your appointments before the TikTok and YouTube lives, or you know what you could do? Seriously, the only person who needs to be on one of my lives for the complete and solid hour is me, right? You can pop in, you can pop out, you can do the hokey pokey, you can turn yourself around. Maybe that's what it's all about. So, Judy Dukes, maybe tomorrow, and notice what I'm doing. I'm giving you some encouragement. I'm giving you some external deadlines, maybe, or accountability, but also like a time deadline. But before 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, could you could you make those 2 appointments? That's a tool in your toolkit, you know. You know what's a tool in your toolkit is telling somebody else you're going to do it. Now, you don't have to do this to me. I do not pressure anybody. But what I will say is sometimes that little thread of accountability is just enough to tip you over to the to doing the things you've been just pushing off. That little thread of saying, well, Beth suggested that I do it before 10. Maybe that's all I need. Okay, she needs the accountability. Okay, so Judy, yeah. And also, that time sensitive. Notice the specificity. Tomorrow, Thursday, April 10th, before 10 a.m. Eastern, she's going to make 2 phone calls and schedule those things. And even if, here's the deal too, because I did this with a paying client of mine, even if they say you can't get the appointment until months from now, make that appointment because the months are good. The days are going to go by whether you have that appointment or not. Notice how I had to make my dermatologist appointment back in October for April. And you know how I made that happen? Was because last April is when I went to the dermatologist. And as I checked out, they said, if you want to get in here, I highly recommend about 6 months beforehand. I guess that's about 6 months. Yep. 2 and 4 is 6. Yep. They said you might want to schedule that in October. So you know what I did? I put a reminder on my October calendar to make a dermatologist appointment for April, you know? Um, oh, yeah, Carla is sharing. This is why, and she thanked me for, I don't want to say harping on her, for lovingly encouraging with care and concern to take care of yourself and your health. Carla got some very unexpected health news this week. She will be 51 in May. She just found out that she has had a mini stroke. She never saw that coming. Yeah. And so Carla is going to be looking out for your health. I'm going to be looking out for your health. Okay? Yeah. Yes. And Lori knows and Carla is taking care of her mom's house. Stress can exacerbate illness. So we're all here to take care of each other. Okay? We are all here to take care of each other. So this is what we do. I'm doing okay with myself. I'm pretty good at this. So I can then, because I'm good with my stuff, I can reach out and say, okay, who needs some encouragement? Who needs some help? Carla's doing the same thing. She's looking out after yourselves. We're all kind of mama ducks. We're all the mama duck and we're all the ducklings. Okay. Sometimes we need somebody to quack at us to get in line and do it. Yes. And Christina Glendale, nice to see you. We are a community. Yeah, we are a community. We take care of each other. There, humans are a pack animal. Humans survive by taking care of each other. We don't do well alone. Sure, we'd like to be independent for a certain bit, but the independent, cowboy is a myth. The cowboy who just wants to be left alone and taking care of things and get out of my way, I can do it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way that cowboy built his barn by himself. Ain't no way that cowboy, roped all them broncos by himself. He had help. His cowboy friends helped him and he helped his cowboy friends. So when somebody tries to say do it by yourself and pull yourself up by the bootstraps, how about this? How about lending a hand to somebody? Because I don't even have enough straps on my boots, okay? Yeah. Yes. Yes. And Carla, yes, please. I've said it all along, but sometimes it takes a while for us all to remember this. I have now decided to make myself as much of a priority as the cleaning out of the house because both are necessary. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you have a fantastic doctor. And I know that is being proactive. Okay. Yes. And what I will offer to everybody here right now, too, get yourself a good team. Just because somebody is a doctor, if you do not feel like you're getting the care that you want or deserve, find somebody else. Seriously. It has been eye opening to me that just by the luck of the draw, my doctor gives me better care than my sister's doctor up in Massachusetts because we've had discussions about things. And it's crazy that your health can be dependent on your doctor getting a good one. Now, the crazy thing is the only reason I have the doctor I have, who I love, she's awesome. I've had her for like 20 years as my doctor. I only picked her because the where she started her practice, the building is literally within eye shot of my kitchen window, just the way we are. So I found her because she was close by, and then she was really awesome. She totally looks like that actress with the teeth, the one on LA Story, and The Help. The redhead. She reminds me of her. Wicked nice. Um, but if you feel like you're not getting the care you deserve, be your own patient advocate. Find somebody who is going to get you the care that you deserve. Okay. So that's the health portion of the show. All right. Um, Please take care of yourself because if you don't feel good, you're not going to do anything good. Yes. And McDuck's right. Quack, quack, quack. And come on, my little ducklings. That's why I have this one. Right? You know why? And here's a funny thing, I will not squeak it because I know some of you have animals and I don't want to alert the pups and have them start barking. A friend of mine sent me this because there are times when we know we can lead or at least get people in line so they can be led. I do a lot of that quacking myself. And when we were in Paris recently, I did that. I made a joke. I was like, okay, come on, ducklings. And my friends Sean and Kathy, who I was with there, sent us these ducklings. I wonder where Cliff's is. I gotta check. I'm gonna write that down. Where's Cliff's duckling? I'm gonna write that on tomorrow. Find. Notice. Putting a verb in there. Find Cliff's duckling. Exclamation point. Oh, right, Christina Grendale. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. So Carla is saying, um, oh yeah, and see, Christina knows about this too. We're all just in this random sack of meat, of cells and bones and muscles and random stuff that got put together by a miracle. And sometimes things happen. Christina says, yeah, they found an issue in March that almost ended up in a biopsy. That oil is okay now. A lesion was found in another spot, so a big medical test next week. I have had to use every tool in my toolbox, but I know I will be okay. And taking one breath at a time. That's all you can do, one breath at a time, right? And Carla had prayed when her mom passed that she would only have honest and helpful people come alongside me because I am clueless on so many things I had to take over. Every person from financial to physical labor has been so good to us and so honest to work with us. It has been an awesome experience. They have been amazing to me when they could have taken advantage of me. Yeah, there are good people out there. There are some complete assholes, do not get me wrong, but I think I choose to believe that's another one of my sayings. I choose to believe that there are more good people in the world than there are jerks. Do I think everybody's good? No. Are there assholes? Are there jerks? Are there people who will rip you off? Yeah. So you got to be mindful of that. And this is where you check your spidey sense. But I truly believe that if you begin to pay attention to how things feel and how things make you feel and how people, there is a vibe. Do not disregard the vibe. If you think something's off with your test, with your health, sooner rather than later. Better to have it be nothing and then think it's nothing and then it be something. Better to say no to somebody who gives you a weird vibe and wait for somebody who you feels trustworthy, worthy of your trust, and be on the lookout. And that's when it's wonderful to get recommendations from people. As I said, where did you get your colonoscopy? Who's your OBGYN? Who's else? Oh yeah, I mean all of those things, you know? Yeah, there we go. Christina Glendale, we will breathe with you. When you laugh, just need to think of me belling, just breathe. And Carol is going to be singing into her microphone too, because she's got one, because she's the one who sent this one to me. Yes, just breathe, just like Faith Hill. So just breathing. Yeah. There are it so cracks me up. I will share this with you that there are people out there who want to make money off of you by selling you things you don't need in order to make money for them. And it's stuff that you don't really need in order to feel better in your life. Now, do I charge for my coaching? Yes, that is different. But what I will offer you too, also offer hours and hours of free stuff right here. And even to that end, breathing, getting O2 to every single cell in your body, making sure you breathe deeply so those toes that are at the farthest reaches of your body, those little toe cells get oxygen in them. Water's got stuff in it. O2, CO2, H2O, H2O. It also has oxygen in it. Breathing, slowing down, relaxing your muscles, quieting down your environment, both visually and audioly, just made that up. I had a headache this afternoon. It came on unexpectedly. I think it was because I was carrying things up and down from or not down, but I was going up and down the basement stairs because we are doing the basement. Um, and oh, oh, screw the basement. I'll give that one persona some love. Oh, okay. She needed that chuckle. Just hopped on. Tomorrow is our baby's birthday that we lost. Yeah. Hun, you know, that might be tough. It might be tough, but please know that there are people that you've never met in real life that are all going to be sending you good vibes, sending hugs right now. Yeah. Yeah, that is going to be an anniversary that's going to be feeling the feels. So tomorrow, in case you want some wacky hijinks, I mean, trust me, I am Irish. This is how I deal with grief is I joke about it and I drink and then I cry and then I fight and I sing and then I drink it, that's what we do. But I will say tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern is the YouTube live. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern is the TikTok live. I'm going to try not to have to pee in the middle of the two, but I might. But if you want somebody to hang out with, if you want folks to keep you company and hug you and feel the feels with you or distract you, whatever you need, you let us know. We'll be there for you, okay? Okay? That can't be easy, but you're going to get through it. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. And Christina says we all have clutter in air quotes, either physical, emotional, and mental. Yeah, lol, we are still the only one person that can take care of one thing at a time. Yeah. And so take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and take care of other people. But you can better take care of other people if you start with yourself first. That's why I am able to expend so much and willingly, happily, joyfully share my energy because I'm doing okay with myself. And when I'm not doing okay, I have my support people. I have my people. I'm blessed to have good people in my life. And you are too, because you've got this crew right here. Yes. Carla, you and me both, friend. I'm a big old hugger. I will be sending you big hugs. And if I could hug your neck, I sure would. Yeah. Yeah. We're good people, you know? And the world needs us now more than ever because hate and fear and greed and meanness have the microphone. And that's not cool. We are going to get through this together in love, in service, out of service. I'm in the service, I'm in the Navy. I don't know. There's where my brain goes. But we're here to help each other. And when we realize that that's going to help us go through the day, um, joy is resistance, help is resistance, love is resistance. As England Dan and John Ford Coley, it was at them, and Todd Rundgren said, "Love is the answer." You know, so think about that. You can go to bed tonight thinking of all those crappy stories and the words in your head. We started talking about the words in your head this morning. The words in your head make you feel a feeling, and when you feel a feeling, you do a thing. Sometimes you literally have to turn the volume off and change the station to shut off the unhelpful words that are just going to make you feel worse. And then actively, don't just sit there in silence, generate good words. Yes, I mute TV when certain people are on the news, as do I. I don't even turn it on. I read the headlines maybe, but your feeling okay allows you to get through what you got to get through. And if you choose to, you can help other people if you've got an excess of energy and benefits. Yeah, damn backseat drivers, tell them to shut up. Yes, sometimes you need to have them to shut up, you know? Um, if they're your backseat drivers, though, what I will say, Your backseat driver, external backseat drivers, yes, tell them to shut up. Love your backseat drivers. Know that here's a really interesting thing to think about. So I'll just kind of offer it to you and just let it swirl around. This took me a while to get. There is a positive intention behind your internal backseat drivers. What? What? Huh? I know it sounds crazy, but your backseat drivers say these things to you in a really twisted, as I like to say, ham handed way of trying to keep you safe. And it may not feel like that, but it's trying to keep you away from harm. If change could be scary, change could be different, change is the unknown, it tries to keep you safe. Okay? So just notice that with your backseat drivers, especially because all of us are in the car known as our life until we're no longer here. You and your co pilot and your backseat drivers are all in that car until you breathe your last breath. Getting along well, playing nicely with each other in the car on this journey will make the difference between a crappy life and a feeling better life. Okay? Aw, aw. Carla says, we are the best family. Losing my family, y'all give me something to look forward to. I love seeing each of you when I do. And I just love because she's so Southern. She says, y'all are so the family I need. And that gets me through this hard part. Yeah. I like to think of this because I know Carla has family. I call it, you've got your blood family, family of blood. And then you've got your family of choice, the people you choose to hang out with. Sometimes you're stuck with your family of blood. You may not, if you are not related to them, you may not hang out with them, but you're stuck with them. I'm not saying blood is thicker than water though, because you can deal with that. But what I will also say is start to find your family of choice, your people that you enjoy hanging out with, that lift you up when you're down, and who also celebrate your wins as opposed to, diminishing them. This is just one way you can do it. Social media. I love the social aspect of social media. I have always craved connection because I felt, I think, so disconnected and freakishly alone in what I liked growing up where I did in New England. And when I connected up with people who liked the same things I did, I realized I wasn't alone and that there were other people out there who dug what I dug. The neat thing is I am still friends with some of those people 40 plus years since then. I am still meeting people to this day that I feel a connection to. Have I met some of them in real life? Not really. But there's nothing wrong with knowing that there's a connection, that there are people thinking of you. Tomorrow on the TikTok lives, we're going to be thinking of that one persona. Tomorrow on the TikTok lives, we're going to be crossing our fingers, hoping that Judy Dukes makes those phone calls to her doctors. We're going to be championing Lori Hannah, saying less than 2 weeks and you're cleaning out your parents' house and you're having that estate sale. Good on you. We're here for each other, you know? Yeah. And Carla knows as an adopted only child, losing your parents makes you feel so alone. Isolation leads to such a ditch of depression. Yes. Yeah. That's why we need to be in community. If I didn't reach out and have y'all, I could never have even started this journey. Now, I feel blessed. I will share this with you that I tend to be a hub in a spoke. I remember this. I wasn't even coaching at the time, but this helped me realize that coaching was something that I could do and I could help bring people together. Because during COVID, when we all felt so alone, I had a community through my other creative project that I used to do called Retro Roadmap. And I could sense that there were people out there who didn't have the strong community of people that I did. And so I could be that community. I could create that community. And so I do not mind. I take it as an important part of what I do is for me to show up allows you all to connect. Now, I will share this with you too. Just because I am the hub does not mean it's the only way you can connect with people. If you see some names of people you may have something in common with, feel free to reach out, tag them, send them a DM. I don't quite know how you do that on YouTube, but you could do it on TikTok. You who knows? I always joke that who knows? You could be next door neighbors from somebody. You know, like Cheryl Siegel could be Carla's next door neighbor in Alabama. Now I know I'm not because I live in Pennsylvania, but who knows? Somebody here could be on Main Street for all I know. And so use the connection we have for good and not evil. Connecting with people, sharing your vibes, even right now. A good vibe has a positive ripple effect. And this is why I really enjoy, and this is why I strategically do these evening YouTube lives on YouTube, because you guys know the different vibe between doing YouTube and TikTok. TikTok to me, frankly, is to get the word out to new people and also to see you guys. Trust me, I love seeing my people. But it's to get the word out to the people that are struggling and they think they're alone and there's no help. There's a substantially fewer amount of people that follow me here on YouTube, and I don't mind that. I am always about quality and not quantity. I am. And I think it's really important at the end of the day to kind of have these reminders of, you know, did I do some good stuff today? Yeah, I did. You did. Um, were there things I wanted to get done that I didn't? Possibly. And that's okay. And that's okay. That's another good one. This did happen and it's okay. Yes, and Carla says, "I feel like these late night YouTubes get emotionally more intimate. I really look forward to them." Me too. Me too, because as I told you, I am not an evening person. I'm not like, late night, let's do this. I'm like, look at me. I'm already in my pajamas practically. Okay? I like to wind down the day like this. To me, this is kind of like us hanging out in a slumber party, right? And after we've calmed down and watched Rex Manning Day and done whatever, we're settling down and we're having those meaningful conversations with each other, and we're confiding in each other, and we're exposing our fears and humanity, you know. And so this is kind of like a little yeah, like a little slumber party, right? And you slumber party with not 500 people on TikTok and whatever. No, just the cool people. Slumber party. Exactly. So this is when you sit down, and I just love and I've trained myself to do this. This is nothing that just comes naturally. Okay? Hey Clara, nice to see you. It was nice to see you. The other day when we did the party, was that just yesterday? Time flies. Oh, declutter parties, we have those coming up. You guys know that, right? You got the email that I did change them, a couple of them to a 9 a.m. Eastern start time because I'm going to be in California. Hope that you did. But practice telling yourself a good night story. If you were a little kid, if you were reading a book to a little kid before they go to bed, would you tell them a scary story, or would you tell them a story that would make them feel good when they went to bed? Yes. There we go. Yeah, that one persona says the makeup and makeover sessions are done. Now for the deep conversations at the slumber party. Yes. I love it. And Christina says, "You always make my purple blocks, Beth, on my schedule." I love that. Yes. And Clara, right. How time flies. It was just yesterday. But tell yourself a good night story tonight. What's going to give you sweet dreams? You know, what do you want to dream sweetly of? Quiet down every time, like a little demon, a little scary little prickly guy with a little fork tries to come into your dreams. Stop it and redirect. Stop it and redirect. Yeah, purple blocks are self-care. Mine are pink. Yeah, and I love it. um and you know what the neat thing is I make sure I include those every day. I actually have blue for my YouTube lives and TikTok lives because that's a special color for me too. So tell yourself a good story. Dream, dare to dream, dare to envision, a house that looks different than it does now. I'm always moving around furniture in my brain. It's so much easier on my muscles to just do it in my head. So I'm moving around furniture. Um I'm saying, "Oh, could we put this there? Could we put that there? What can we do?" You know? But tell yourself some good stories tonight. You did some good stuff today. I know you did. Write it down. Make it more real. Don't forget the good stuff you did. The not so good stuff, learn from it. Maybe you write that down too, but you flip it on its side and then you cross it out and you write something better. As Judy Duke said, tomorrow I will do better. And then what can you do? Just get curious. Ask your brain this. What can I do to make tomorrow even just 10% better than it was today? Even 10% better. I'm looking at my schedule for tomorrow because I'm coming up with that. Um, Today I think was pretty good for me. I want to continue. This is the maintenance. I want to continue the good things that I did. That's, I want to continue some of these good habits on my habit tracker because much like when I was away then, I will be on the road Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I will try to do those things, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to keep up with my good kind of mundane daily habits when I'm on the road. So let me kind of store up and get some good solid ones in there. Drinking more water. How could I increase the likelihood that I'm going to be doing my good habits when I'm gone? Well, this is wicked funny. One of the things I would do is I would bring my water bottle with me. So I don't have to pull over on the Jersey Turnpike to get a Diet Coke or pay money for the water. The crazy thing is, I did that the other day, the last time I went up to Massachusetts, and I forgot my water bottle at my sister's house. But luckily, I'm going to my sister's house and I'll get my water bottle, but I have another water bottle. So when I'm on the road, I will bring my water bottle. I will bring my medicines. I will wear comfortable clothes. I will get out of my car every few hours on the way up to Massachusetts, and I will stretch my legs and walk, and just to get the body moving, so I don't get what do you call those things, like blood clots and stuff, or just to stretch and feel good, to get some fresh air in my lungs. You know. So what can you do? And that doesn't have to be. Please don't think it has to be something big. It can be tiny, and you don't have to tell a soul. You can change things and not tell a damn person you're changing a thing. Just tell yourself and show up for yourself. Go for a walk. Enjoy the sunshine. See what spring flowers are blooming. Smell the flowers. Do they smell nice? Do they smell kind of stinky? We've got both in our neighborhood. Appreciate the fact, this is what I'm going to do, that not some random guy, but the guy our neighbor who we pay to do our lawn came and mowed our lawn today. We're keeping him in business, right? How grateful I am that we have enough money that we can afford to pay somebody to mow the lawn, to smell the grass. What can you do tomorrow? Jot these things down. Jot the things down that come to your mind. As Christina says, purple blocks equal her self-care. What are you going to highlight in your book tomorrow? That's going to be self-care, feeling good, taking care of yourself. Self-care, care of self, yourself. Get in the habit of taking care of yourself. It makes everything so much easier. It really does. I know because I've gone out for more walks and I'm doing like the Pilates and the yoga and the strength training and yada yada, that it's easier for me when we're moving all this stuff up out of the basement because I have stamina and I have slightly more muscular muscles than I would have had I not done those things. So it's helping me pick up things, brace myself, catch myself if I start to stumble and fall. I have that core strength. So I'm grateful that I have been showing up a little bit at a time to do that stuff, not to just look good, you know, but just be strong so I can lift boxes out of my basement. So self-care takes all different permutations. I'm still taking care of myself right now, drinking water. All right. And that one persona says for those with kids, self-care for yourself shows them that self-care is a good thing, that it's something that they can and should do too. Yes. I think Carla and I were talking about this, and I will share. First of all, there's that old saying, little pitchers have big ears. Little kids absorb things like a sponge. Little kids are trying to learn how to navigate the world. And it's not always when you sit them down and teach them a lesson. They are watching you at all times, and they're not the only ones watching you. Now, not to freak you out, not to freak you out about it, but you never know who you might be inspiring, who somebody might that somebody might be looking to you, and what kind of example are you setting? Are you showing people to run yourselves into the ground and then get exhausted? Or are you taking care of yourself and showing people that self care is not some manufactured thing trying to sell you stuff from Bed Bath and Beyond, but it's taking a rest? It's drinking water. It's having some quiet time in this chaotic world. Leading by example. What kind of example are you leading? You guys would not trust me as a coach if I was not doing what I'm asking you to do. So you don't know who else is watching you and maybe being inspired by you. Okay. Now, McDoug says we live and die by our routine, morning, afternoon, and evening. Yeah, routine. To me, I have a fairly good morning routine and I try to have a fairly good evening routine. And then in between the two, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know? But routine and habit, there are some things, creatures of habit. Think about how you take care of a pet. Do you tell them, no, don't go for you? Do you make them wait for hours and hours before you let them out to go poop? Do you not take them for walks? Do you feed them randomly or just random things? If you have pets, you may treat them better than you do yourself. And you know how it's important for these animals to have a routine and how comforting a routine can be. Do it for yourself as well. That's the neat thing to me about having like a calendar and you look at your schedule is you're going to do certain things at certain times. That's why I'm looking over here at my calendar for tomorrow. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, April 10th. And I have a YouTube live and I've got a TikTok live. And then I've got a call with the guy who's going to hopefully tell us we still have some money in our savings account. And then I've got a consultation. And then I've got some yoga. And then I've got a community potluck. But there's a whole space with random stuff. So treat yourself kindly. Oh, funny. That's so funny. So Carla, who just got rid of a whole bunch of yeah, um cookbooks, says I went with a friend and her visiting out of town sister this afternoon. They were looking at used books and cookbooks. I just sat down and talked to them while they looked. My friend said, Carla, on her journey, has decided she doesn't want to buy extra things anymore. Yeah. Here's a wonderful thing to realize. You can still hang out with your friends as they shop and you don't have to buy anything. This is a big deal for me in a similar way because we went to Epcot in Disney this past weekend. It was something powerful to me to say, I can hang out at the after party and not be drinking alcohol. I can still have fun hanging out with my friends, having a good time, drinking a club soda and lime. And you can still do these things, but you don't have to do the shopping. You can still have a good time. You can still go look at things and buy something if you truly want it, but also not feeling that kind of hunger to satisfy, to fill the hole in your soul by buying something. So, isn't that a cool feeling, Carla, to be able to hang out with them, to sit with them, and feel okay with not buying a thing? It's kind of neat, isn't it? The other thing I did too, in talking about self care, and I'm looking at the time now, so I want to make sure we wrap up at a time because I'm partially in my pajamas right now. I want to get fully in my pajamas and brush my teeth and wipe my face so I can have my perfect streak for the day. Is taking care of yourself and taking care of others. Taking care of yourself and feeling okay with what you have is a delightful feeling. Having fun and then saying, okay, it's time for me to go. that was me at some of these late nights because my husband's a late night person. My sister's a late night person. Most of the band is a late night person. And not being afraid that people were going to judge me for going to bed, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And your friends will notice the difference. She has also been with me when I used to shop big, said Carla could spend $1,000 in 5 minutes. And wow, has Carla changed. And that's okay. You're still the awesome Carla you were because you've always been the awesome Carla. You just have different spending habits now. Different things are important to you now. I love that. I love that you're doing that. All right, my friends. Looks like it's hit 9 p.m. Eastern. This is always a pleasure. Let me take a quick look here because I'm just boopity booping here. Um, Next Wednesday, I will not be doing an evening TikTok live, okay? And or YouTube live. All right. And I'm going to share with you because we have to get up, we have to pack, and we have to maybe I'll be able to do one. I might be able to do one. I might just put one on there. Okay. I will make sure it feels right for me. If it doesn't, I won't do it. If I do, I will let you know. But right now, I'm thinking like we need to get some sleep before we get on our plane. But if it ends at 9 o'clock and I've already packed and I go right to bed, we'll see what we do. But if not, please know that there's a group of people who are thinking highly of you at night, every night. Okay. So Carla says, friends, I appreciate each of you. Praying you all have a wonderful day tomorrow, no matter what. I'm doing the same thing. And I will see some of you tomorrow morning. Okay. We've got a TikTok live, we've got a YouTube live. Have a good evening and sweet dreams. Okay. See ya.